It's no brainer that Arsenal will be going in for a person to come in and really compete with Bukayo Saka onto the right, attacking southern midfield in their team during the summer transfer window. And all eyes are being linked to Nico Williams. But not only Nico Williams, but there are very many other players that Arsenal will be looking at. But that means Nico Williams is making the list of the possible players to be signed at the club of Arsenal. Good morning and welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys had a wonderful night and the Lord God has gone ahead to make it. And for the Muslims, Allah is with you and has gone ahead to see to that you wake up on the right sides of your bed. Toni Kroos has hinted on how sweet it is to win a league after beating Barcelona twice in the league, and Pep Guardiola has gone ahead to comment about the manager that is going to be facing this afternoon at the Coventry. Is it called the Craven Cottage? That is Marco Silva. Let's say close to 400 likes. Smash on this video and don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we are left with how many subscribers? Let me first check here, because I think we are left with few. All else we have hit 21,000 subscribers, by the way, and that's really a very huge mark that we've always gonna hit to hit onto this channel, as we want to chase to the next mark of 22,000 subscribers, and that will be a very huge mark. We are left with 4 subscribers to hit 21,000 subscribers. So guys, I call upon for your speedy reaction. 4 subscribers to hit 21,000 subscribers. Continue to do that. And guys, there is also another way to support this channel. You can as well hit the join button and really become a member and really support this channel to see it that you really give us the best of support that we deserve. Not so, because reciprocation is needed. We give you content and you guys go ahead to watch it. So guys, continue to subscribe. Let's start it off with Ekram Kona, who went ahead to break the story of Nico Williams to the Arsenal side. He said, Arsenal, one of the 6 clubs interested in signing Atletico Bilbao's 21-year-old winger Nico Williams. And then he added and said, PSG are planning to check on the condition of Spanish player Nico Williams, but Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Aston Villa, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona continue to be interested in the 21 winger. Now, other 6 clubs that are interested into Nico Williams have been mentioned, and there is stiff competition for the lad. But before I go into that aspect of the competitive advantage and who has a competitive edge over the other, I have to come here and really tell you who Nico Williams is. 21-year-old, you know, Ghanaian and Spanish player. That is it. He was born in 2002, and he plays as a forward. He can play on the left forward, he can play as a right forward, and he has gone ahead obviously fetch in 4 goals this season and 10 assists. Hear this out: 4 goals and 10 assists for Atletico Bilbao this season in the La Liga, and he is so far one of the best players in there for you. So when I looked at him and really went ahead and really searched about him, I found out that he has some boxes he ticks in there for you, for the side of Arsenal, right? He can play on both sides. Remember, Arsenal have resorted to a culture of signing players who are really versatile. When you look at all the on-field players that they signed, I'm talking about Tomiyasu, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. All those players are versatile. They play in more than 2 positions. Julian Timber can play in the entire back line: right back, left back, central defender, left-sided defender, right? You go to Declan Rice, he can play as a central defender, he can play as a CDM, he can play as a box-to-box midfielder. That is Declan Rice for you. Go to Kai Havertz, he can play as a central midfielder and he can play across all the front 3 positions of the attacking line of Arsenal. So that's what Arsenal has gone ahead obviously put in, and Nico Williams ticks that box of being a versatile player for the club of Arsenal. The other box he ticks, the age bracket. Arsenal has decided to go in for players who are really young, that are going to be here for a very long period of time, right? And he is really being scouted by very many people at that age. When you look at his pace, the way he really has a skill set, sits down players on both flanks, obviously good in there for you. And the other is, time has come for Arsenal to obviously start signing Spanish players, because every manager would love to be having players from his country who are really good enough. And the first Spanish player to come in through is going to be David Raya on a permanent. He has been at Arsenal in a loan spell, and is going to come in through on a permanent deal at the club of Arsenal. That is David Raya. And he can settle in well with Nico Williams, because they play together onto the Spanish national team. That is known all over the world, very vivid about it. And I tell you what, it's really one of those moments that you obviously want to come in here and really understand about this beautiful game of football. So I think Nico Williams ticks all the boxes for the club of Arsenal. His physicality is not doubted. He is really that kind of lad who comes in through and obviously does the needful. And if you ask me if he's the right kind of player to bring in through at Arsenal right now, I'll say yes. And on the other side, no, depending on who is the other player that Arsenal is looking at. When you look at the list of players that Arsenal are really looking in through, there is Olise. I think if you give me two options, Olise and Nico Williams, I go Olise, because Olise is Premier League proven and he suits the style of play of Mikel Arteta, because he's a left-footed player and he can really do the job of Bukayo Saka very well and really set up pace with Bukayo Saka. We look at Nico Williams. I think he will need time to settle in the club of Arsenal. The other player that Arsenal is looking at, Pedro Neto. I think for that I go with Nico Williams over Pedro Neto. Why? The other box that I had forgotten that Nico Williams ticks is his injury record. It's not all that alarming. When you look at the injury record of Nico Williams, it obviously looks clean, right? He's not all that injury prone player that he will look at, but you never know what happens to the player, you know. And when you look at his injury record, he has only gone ahead like this season. He has had a couple of injuries, by the way, but I think they've not gone ahead to really keep him out for long. The adductor injury, it kept him out for 16 days. Muscular problems, 8 days. Hamstring, 5 days. Adductor pain, 14 days. And hamstring for 2 days. Meaning that he has only gone ahead to miss out on 3, 5, 6, 10 games this season. And if a player misses out on 10 games a season, it's not that alarming, because a team like Arsenal are preparing to go in for 60 games plus. And one will ask me, Rokani, how will Arsenal average 60 games next season? This season only, Arsenal have played 38 games in the Premier League, or they're going to play 38, and they played 10 in the Champions League to take that to 48, and they played 3 more to take it to 51. But if Arsenal had continued to play into the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, I tell you, they could easily average 60 games. Why? They were knocked out at the beginning of the FA Cup, something that they won't really fancy next season. Next season, they would like at least to play until the semis. Those will be like 3-4 games, right? Now, if they go to the Carabao Cup, I think they also like to obviously go ahead and really fight for every trophy, add on more 3-4 games for the Carabao Cup. That takes them to 60 games. So, if a player is going to come in here and really be introduced to that system, and he plays like 50 games a season, he's better than Pedro Neto, because Pedro Neto is not that kind of player that will be kept fit. Unless otherwise, the physios of Arsenal find the medical team of Wolverhampton Wanderers really not good enough to see to it that they keep this player physically fit. So, that is Nico Williams for you. And he comes in through at Arsenal at a very huge time where Arsenal have gone ahead to see to it that they are really raising the bar. And I think he can add a lot. I refer a lot to the game of Bayern Munich every time I'm really talking about this story, because every time I'm talking about every forward player Arsenal is going to bring in, do you know why? Arsenal lacked that kind of player who could obviously open up that defense that was really compact. You get? So this is the kind of player that comes in through and will keep you going and give you the best that they deserve as a side of Arsenal. So that is it coming in through from that. And now let's talk about the competitive edge that Arsenal has over teams that are really competing with them as far as Nico Williams is really concerned. Now, I tell you, amongst all the teams that are going to be listed here, no team has an edge over Arsenal. The first one is Chelsea. Chelsea is good, but they are really struggling, not in the Champions League. I think Nico Williams cannot make that mistake to come at Chelsea. Manchester United, I don't think Man United have the money to sign a winger. I think United's priority is Olise, right? United is prioritizing Olise over any other player. Then Aston Villa. Aston Villa is going to be playing in the Champions League, but if I told you Nico Williams, I think you can't go to Aston Villa when you're having teams like Arsenal, Barcelona in for you. Real Madrid, with the coming in through of Kylian Mbappe, Endrick, and Vinicius Jr., is he going to be a starter? The answer is no. Can he really compete to start? I think yes. But again, I think it's Real Madrid that can come in through and really put in a better competitive edge than Arsenal. That is it. Because he's Spanish and love to stay in Spain. And if I told you stay in Spain, you have a huge chance to continue playing with the Spanish national team. Atletico Madrid, no way. The style of play is really totally different. It cannot really give this guy a go into his game. Barcelona, they're really having problems. Can they raise 50 million euros to sign the player? Because the price tag put on the head of this guy is 50 million pounds. Can they pay 50 million pounds? That is the huge question. 50 million pounds. Can they pay it? You get? Can they pay 50 million pounds? I doubt. I doubt whether they can pay 50 million pounds. Sorry, 50 million euros, because they're really having problems. Remember, they have to get in Joshua Kimmich. They want to make the deal of João Felix and Cancelo permanent. If you add all that, they'll need close to 120 million euros to really get that deal done and dusted. That's why they want to move on Frankie de Jong to get in like 60, 70 million euros. Let's say 70. Then after, they want to sell, who else? There is Rafinha, right? They want to sell Rafinha for like 60 million euros to make it 130. They're also trying to move on Araujo. They want to really get in like 200 million euros. And when you're having 200 million euros, I think you can really talk about Nico Williams to really strengthen your side after moving on Rafinha, who is 27, 28, and Frankie de Jong, because they need the money in. So we are waiting to see how that is going to pan out for the side of Barcelona. But I tell you, Arsenal really having an edge. But we wait to see who is going to be the priority target for Arsenal this summer transfer window as far as the winger is concerned. Arsenal need to bring in a winger because Saka, he needs some rest. And Arsenal might be having a plan to see to it that Saka undergoes the surgery after the Euros. And when he undergoes the surgery after the Euros, you'll see what will happen. That means they will need a player to obviously come and fit in well in there for you. So we wait and see who Arsenal is going to prioritize. But the budget of Arsenal is going to be really huge. And that is like 43 to 42 million pounds to get in Nico Williams. You know, we wait. We wait and see how things are really gonna pan out into the mix. Now we go to Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos winning the league with Barcelona's loss made it double better. So we all know that today Real Madrid are gonna really do what we call a trophy parade, right? And that trophy parade is really going to be one of the best moments that will ever come out and really look at into the mix and come up with what we call the best of the best in that land. So Barcelona have gone ahead, obviously miss out on everything they've gone ahead to do. And I tell you what, it's really very bad for them. Real Madrid winning and Barcelona not winning anything, it's obviously the best happiness for any Real Madrid fan. And for Barcelona, it is really a turn-off, and they cannot come out and really put in the best of a performance. So I would like to let you know that Barcelona will obviously move on itself to the levels where everyone thinks they can go. That's why they are looking at the likes of Nico Williams. But Real Madrid having a chance to obviously win 3 trophies this season. I know they went ahead to play in Spain and won that. Is it Super Copa or something of the sort? Then they went ahead to win the league, and on the 1st of June they will be playing the Champions League final at Wembley. And if at all they win it, they would have gone ahead to walk away with 3 trophies. And what a way to see to it that they are into the final. And if at all they win it, obviously you'll see Barcelona fans really agitated, and that's why they want to aggressively attack the summer transfer window and really reinforce hugely to see to it that they find themselves better things. That's why I told you they would like to move on Frankie de Jong and bring on Joshua Kimmich. They keep João Cancelo, they keep João Felix, and maybe add on a Nico Williams into that team to see to it that they can really have a competitive edge over Real Madrid, because Real Madrid have gone ahead to really get in Kylian Mbappe. They're having Endrick, and they're also wanting Nico Williams. So they are really working to really restore their lost glory. There is Victor Roque, another superstar that is being looked out to leave, having brought him in for 40 million euros. His agent was furious, and looks like the board of Barcelona want him out. Will they make a profit or they'll make a loss out of him? It's God who knows. But I tell you what, it's really one of the worst deals they went ahead to make, because the player, Chelsea wanted the player, Manchester United wanted the player, Arsenal wanted the player, and Barcelona went ahead to spend 40 million euros on that player, and looks like they cannot fetch it back because he has failed to get into the starting 11 of Barcelona. So Barcelona has to obviously start their preps of next season to obviously come and stop Real Madrid. Real Madrid revenge, because last season it's Barcelona that won the trophy, though this season they haven't gone ahead to really win it, and it was all about the way they lost. I think 2-1 away, it was 3-2 at Bernabeu, win for Real Madrid, and in Catalonia Real Madrid went ahead to win by 2-1. So it was really one of those disappointing wins or losses for Barcelona because of that goal that Lamine Yamal scored, and they said the ball never went ahead to cross the line. You understand? So let's wait and see how that pans out. But let's obviously close it up with the game of football that's going to be played today. Man City versus Fulham, as very many Arsenal fans are going to be really putting their eyes onto the screens. And Pep Guardiola will be facing Marco Silva. This is what he had to say about Marco Silva. Excellent, not just last season, but being promoted, playing excellent football in Fulham. His impact is there. So, obviously, that side of Fulham is really hard to beat, I tell you. It's really hard to beat. And when you look at Muniz, their striker, he's really on fire and he's scoring goals for fun. And he has gone ahead to say to it that very many teams have gone ahead to start looking at him. 23 years of age, and he has gone ahead to score 9 goals and 1 assist this season. To show you how good he is, he started scoring these goals when he obviously got into the calendar year of 2024. So he's really scoring for fun. The likes of Paulinho will obviously try to put in a shift, the Andreas Pereira of this world, and try to stop City from really not seeing the celebrations in London. And Fulham can play a very huge role to stop City, because we know how hard they can be. But Man City, having gone ahead to rest for a week, they are going to throw everything they have to win this. As the manager of Man City was asked whether he's going to be supporting Man United over the weekend, he said, no way. All I have to do is to win against Fulham. I don't need to support Man United to stop Arsenal. All I have to do is to come out and really do the needful and beat Fulham. Will Fulham stop the side of Man City from really getting or walking out with 3 points at the Craven Cottage? All that and more into the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about Arsenal interested in Nico Williams. A welcome in the comment section below. And what do you make about the guy called Toni Kroos bragging about them winning a trophy of the La Liga and beating Barcelona twice, bringing double happiness? Will Barcelona strike back next season? Rokani David is my name. I sign out. Bye-bye.